On this episode, we install a sweet twin disc setup for the 4-wheel drive on the Bronco to get it one step closer to being back on the road. This is our new twin stick setup from our friends at Wild Horses Broncos. It comes complete with all the necessary hardware and the decals that go on top of both the shifters, and some extra ones too if you want to use those on the dash. Can't wait to see it at work in the Bronco. The instructions seem fairly simple. What we have to do is take our grinding wheel, cutting wheel, whatever kind of metal cutting tool that you have, and you separate this piece because you want to be able to use the twin stick to engage the 4-wheel drive either on the front axle or the rear axle or both. I've got double protection. Y'all ready to do this? I even have my apron on. Do it. Separation. Nice. Okay, now to cut the other piece on this side. See some twin stick action, dude.
That's probably front axle. We can operate it independent from the rear.
That's awesome.
If it was mounted to the transmission, it would operate a lot easier, but
yeah,
I need to be able to turn the yoke in.
But they're operating independently, which is the goal.
Yeah. Just throw it in there.
We are getting ready. It's time to throw the transfer case in this. Transfer case time.
If we can just get it hooked on that spline. Oh. So
the actual,
it's got to go above
it. Okay. Looking at it.
All right, back down. We're actually hitting the bottom of the floor. We have either installed the cross member wrong.
Got the trans too high?
That's what I'm worried about.
It's hitting right here.
Yeah, this one, can't remember what I read. I think it's about an 1.1/16 back, so that's going to be a problem. These are not the original bushings for the transmission. I ordered some on Amazon, but they're not here yet. So I improvised and put these in. They may be too tall, but it seemed like way off, like it was not going to go. So we'll get back to you. We're going to figure this out.
How are we going to figure it out? Can we look at a picture online and see how the transmission cross member?
I spent quite a bit of time looking at that, and I couldn't find one.
Okay.
We're going to think about it.
Back to you in a minute. Howdy. All right, it's a new day. Or new evening, I should say. 90% of our work that takes place in this shop is after hours, after we've worked other jobs. So, yeah, been to Dallas and back today. Worked, got home, did actual house stuff like wash dishes. Kind of wifely, good thing to do. Anyway, now I'm out here. I'm gonna see if I can get our twin stick mounted to the side of the transmission so that we can check fitment and figure out exactly how we're gonna get the transfer case in there. I don't know if you can see my struggle here, but it's kind of tricky. Seems like there's no room to get this long bolt through the top of the transmission hole because of the space of the trans tunnel. We have a development. I texted my friend Chris, who is half of Max Slater Brothers. They build amazing Broncos. If you don't follow them on Instagram and Facebook, then you're missing out. He's probably texting me right now, in fact. I'm like, dude, Aaron and I are looking at this because Aaron got home and he's been looking at it for a while too, and we just can't get the transfer case to fit. Like, it just keeps hitting the body. We are gonna have to cut the body a little bit to expand the hole for the actual shifters to go through, the twin sticks, but that's no big deal. The big deal was the fact that the transfer case is hitting the body. So I texted Chris about it and he's like, dude, you're gonna have to do a 1-inch body lift. That is the solution. So we are going to get a body lift in the mail. So if you're doing an AOD swap, it's a little bit longer. Your transfer case is gonna be a little further back and it's not gonna clear. So you're gonna need a body lift. Thanks, Chris at Max Later Brothers. We'll check back. It's a new day and we have a game plan. We actually ordered a 2-inch body lift, so we're waiting for that to come in the mail. But while we wait, we're going to lift the body up off of the actual mounting points and raise it up a couple inches and put some blocks under there to get it some distance so we can get that transfer case bolted in and measure for drive shafts.
I've never been happy with the 4.5-inch lift that's on it because the drive angles are just extreme. And there's always been a vibration when it's in full drive. You can definitely feel the front shaft is binding a little bit. I never wanted to take that apart and figure it out because we haven't used the 4-wheel drive much because the shifter was such a can't say that. The shifter was such a
problem.
The shifter was so difficult to get in and out of gears. So I think what we'll do is for a short period of time it's going to be super tall because it'll be a 4.5-inch suspension on top of a 2-inch body. But ultimately we want to change all that suspension anyways because it rides like so rough. And so we'll do a 2.5-inch suspension with the 2-inch body, have the same ride height, but I think that's going to correct a lot of our issues with the suspension and the drive angles. You know, you try, you plan stuff. That's where we are this morning.
Yay!
Heck yeah.
Saturday.
We hit a roadblock. Most of these bolts go down from the top and they've rhino lined them in. So they're literally, that stuff's so thick, they're like painted into the floor. There's one just right here under where your feet go.
Kind of where the pedals are.
Yeah, it's got a stud coming down, and I tried to take it off, and it just spins. The only way to get to it is from the top, but it looks like they put a patch panel on there and they pop riveted in. That bolt must be underneath there.
And then they rhino lined on top
yeah,
of it.
So now we get to go digging for bolts. Here's that patch panel. I can see in one corner over here, there's a rivet. I can only assume that there's another rivet underneath all that rhino line. So I got to figure out some way. Oh, that's coming up. Well, we'll see. I'm gonna get a razor blade and cut around this. Let's see if I can get to the top of that bolt.
That stuff's actually cutting pretty good.
Yeah, it's like a rubber. I actually like this stuff. What I don't like is if there was any damage to the floor and they sprayed over it. Like there's a place over there that's like that. You can see this stuff starting to lift.
And then moisture collects.
Yeah, moisture gets underneath it. I do some pretty janky stuff, but this is a little bit ridiculous. Oh, why do people do this kind of stuff?
No.
There's my bolt though. Yeah, look at those holes. Oh boy. And it's actually rotted around that body mount. The biggest concern right now is just getting that bolt out. So it's completely rotted. A wrench is not going on there, so I'll just get some vice grips if it'll stick to it. Oh, there's some money in there. 5 cents. That's probably what it took to repair this floor. Okay, let me get some vice grips. These are my favorite vice grips for getting bolts out. Check that out. It clamps. Way better than the normal set. Sweet. Now to the front. It broke off.
Look, I just made us a body lift.
This is temporary. Do not think that we're going to ride it like this.
We're dumb, but we're not that dumb. That's funny.
Now the back, we have to unhook the emergency brake cable because it's mounted to the body. And once we do that, we can lift the back up. If you were just doing this from scratch, like let's say you had a Bronco that was all together, you're gonna do the body lift. You're gonna deal with shifter linkage, things like fuel lines might need to be extended. But in our case, all that's unhooked. So
What about the fill neck?
we're gonna see how it responds as I jack it up. We're probably gonna have to unhook both of them.
Okay.
Lifted.
Whoa.
Sweet.
Nice, babe. Betty's got a custom lift. Okay, lift kit is in. Let's lift this baby back up and see if our transfer case will bolt in. It's in?
I think if everything...
Oh my gosh. You know what? It looks like there's a lot of clearance, which is like surprising.
We might could go with the 1-inch body.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Dang.
I'm gonna put a nut on it.
Put a dang old nut on it, babe.
Heck yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Look at that.
Give me a dang old kiss. That's cool. So, here, trying to chop some of this body away so that we have clearance to get our twin sticks up through our hole. This is the plate that holds down the shifter, so it's a good template for what they expect you to cut to be able to fit the twin sticks. So I guess we can start there, just cut that much away and then see clearance-wise what that gives us. I think that's pretty good.
Work.
Yeah, I think so.
Come on down.
Okay.
I'm gonna tighten it down here and then we'll see exactly where it's gonna sit.
Got our travel now. Ooh! That's pretty good. Let me do a little bit more. Okay, I like that. Cool! Badass. Looks really good too. Much better.
You can shift it now without getting your hand caught in between it.
Yep. Beforehand, these were super close. It said in the directions if you wanted to heat them up and move them around a little bit, you're more than welcome. All that it suggested was to do it below the shift boot because it discolors the metal. This is gonna look legit. Okay, it's time to do the last step of our twin stick installation, which is putting our stickers on the shift knob. That looks great. Next one. So good. All right, front and rear knobs have stickers. It's a really thick, like gel sticker, so it's super high quality. I like it. Let's install them, and that will be the icing on the twin stick cake. Yes. We're so stoked to actually get this Bronco running so that we can use the twin stick setup in action, 4-wheel drive. It's gonna be friggin' rad. We have a lot more to look forward to on this build though. We don't know what we're gonna do with the suspension. We still haven't really decided. Do you guys have any suggestions on cool suspension mods, any certain brands you like, any certain brands you're curious about you wanna see us use? We're all ears. Post it down in the comment section. We have wheels and tires to put on the truck. We also have some really nice fender flares from Wild Horses Bronco that we're going to install. This one driver's side fender flare's always been missing a chunk, so we're really excited to freshen it up. We don't really know what we're gonna do with the bumpers quite yet. Our wheels are not chrome. I'm gonna let those be a surprise, but if you follow on Instagram, you will have seen them. But we're gonna get rid of a lot of the chrome on the Bronco, so it's gonna be rad. We're so excited to see this build unfold. Tell us your ideas in the comment section. We read everything. See you next time.